The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
And a good Monday morning to everybody. Welcome to the show. Senior producer Ryan Nicholson is in charge of things this morning on the other side of the glass. Guarantee Bank Hotline 304-345-5858. Tony V. Taylor text 304-935-5008. We're in the Jarrett Construction Studios, right on time, right on budget. Visit jarrett-construction.com. License number WV030133. Phone calls to the show, service of Guarantee Bank, 1320 Canal Boulevard East in Charleston. Texting services provided by West Virginia's finest men's store, Tony the Tailor, Virginia Street. Tony is on vacation this week. He will return next week. BestMasterTailor.com is his website, or check out Tony's Facebook page. Good Monday morning. Is there such thing as a good Monday morning? I don't know that there is. But anyway, we're here. Metro News meteorologist Brian Hughes says some rain around today. Some pop-up thunderstorms are possible, but there may be some sun too. Highs going to be in the mid-80s. Some lingering rain around tonight. Low 66 or so. Tomorrow, sunny, bit warmer. Slight chance of a shower. Highs in the upper 80s, and a better chance of showers and storms, and continued warm on Wednesday. Temps in the upper 80s. Pretty much the same for Friday through the weekend. You can download the Metro News television app for Brian and his team of meteorologists and follow along on social media as well. Coming up later in the show, it's Monday, which means we get a visit from Danny Jones. He will stop by, and the current mayor of the city of Charleston, Amy Shuler Goodwin, will stop by as well. Questions, comments, concerns, anything going on with the mayor, or the city, I should say. The mayor is here to answer those. Open lines and open text. That's coming up later in the show. I want to welcome now into the show, though, the new president of BridgeValley Community and Technical College, Dr. Christopher Treadway. Good morning, sir. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Dave. How are you this morning?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for being here. Now, you were named the new president after Casey Sachs left, and you started serving as the BridgeValley president on July 1st. Give us your background.
Yeah, so I was born and raised in the Kanawha Valley, went to DuPont High School back in the good old days of the Randy Moss days.
Oh,
so
okay.
those made for some fun football games back in the day. And then went to the University of Charleston. I've been a local boy my whole life, and did my graduate work at Marshall, and professionally, worked previously as the vice chancellor for the state's community college system. A lot of the work we did there was managing grants for the colleges. We had a system of 9 community colleges, and we worked with all those colleges. West Virginia is in a really unique position that we have some amazing grants that are funded by the legislature to help colleges start up new technical training programs in response to the needs of business and industry. So if an employer comes to us and says they have a training need, we can apply for a grant through the chancellor's office to help get that training program up and running quickly and develop it, kind of custom tailor it to the needs of that employer partner. Not many states have opportunities like that, so we're really fortunate that the legislature continues to support that. Also managed a program called Learn and Earn, which was our paid internship program that is also a partnership with business and industry. The way that works is that an employer partner comes to us and says they're willing to host an intern. And what we do then is pay half their wages while the student is in college. So they enroll in our institution in a program that aligns closely with the work they'd be doing as part of their internship. And then we, as a thank you, in a way to kind of support the work that the employer partner is doing for us, again, we pay half the employee's wages while they're in school. So it's a great way for students to learn on the job and get that hands-on experience. And for many students, it's hard for them to continue to go to school and need to continue to work. So we give them an opportunity to work and go to school at the same time and support that and make sure the two align. But I did a lot of work like that at the central office, and I'm just super excited to be at BridgeValley now. Like you said, I started on July 1st and kind of hit the ground running. I'm still getting to know people and get settled in.
What was it about the job that appealed to you, though? I know you've been there for a while. You're a Kanawha Valley guy, as you said. But what was it specifically about this job that appealed to you? Oh, yeah.
So I've been looking at jobs like this for a while, and I never really found the right fit. And when this came open, Dr. Sachs left BridgeValley in great shape. We're in great shape financially. Enrollment is up. It's really sprung back post-pandemic. BridgeValley just has great programs, great people, and I had the chance to work with so many of them in my previous position that it was just a no-brainer when the position came up. I said that's the place for me. And again, I'm a Kanawha Valley boy, wanted to stay here, didn't want to leave the area. We're invested here and love the area. So
I think it's great. Dr. Sachs and I had talked about this before, and I know you'll continue this. The partnership that you mentioned earlier with BridgeValley and businesses, because the listeners have heard me talk about this. Years ago when and I'm a Marshall guy too. So So years ago when I was in college, it was like, okay, we're gonna get you a degree or a certificate or whatever, and then we're going to send you out in the world to find a job. That's all well and good. But I like it now that the employers are coming to the institutions of higher learning, whether it's BridgeValley or anybody else, and saying, okay, what is it that we need? That we need the employees. Here is the curriculum that we would like to develop. So you guys are working together, is what I'm trying to say. Oh, yeah. I mean, you're working with employers here. You're going to these folks, and you get a great relationship with Toyota and some of these others, and say, okay, what is it that you need? And the employers are saying, well, here's what we need. Get us some workers. Sure. And I love the partnership. Yeah,
that constant dialogue with employers is really what makes community colleges special. And I think in many cases, you mentioned it, that at four-year institutions in particular, I think that the tradition has been that, we develop the programs and employers adapt to what we deliver. With community colleges, we flip the script and we say, you as an employer tell us what you need from a graduate, and we're going to adapt to make sure that our graduates have those skills you need. So it's we have non-community colleges across the state, and we're all doing that same good work and all just trying to stay engaged with our business and industry partners. And you mentioned the Toyota partnership. We have lots of others as well across all areas of the institution where we maintain those regular contacts with employer partners to make sure that students are learning the hard skills that they need to be successful in their positions, but also soft skills as well.
And you're listening again to what the needs are, which I love. And I know you've got a great lineman program up there. Oh, yeah. You got a great nursing program, just so many great things.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And our health sciences programs are second to none. We have everything from nursing to medical sonography. My niece actually just graduated from our medical sonography program last semester, and EMT, paramedic programs, and advanced manufacturing, just really across the board. And anything that might be of interest to somebody, we probably have a program that'll help you find a good paying job in that field. Our electrical lineman programs are really special because in many cases our graduates are being hired out of the program before they even get to finish the program because they're in such demand. And those are good paying jobs. Yes, in many cases, six figures.
Yes, so, which is not bad when you're 19, 20 years old, right?
Yeah, rolling out of college with a potential 6-figure income is really special. I wish I'd had that opportunity when I was younger. Yeah,
I wish I had it now. 9:15. We're talking to Dr. Christopher Treadway from BridgeValley Community Technical College. Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Pinnacle Consultants, helping to identify environmental concerns like asbestos, lead, mold, and indoor quality issues in buildings all across the state, providing inspections, testing, and accredited lab services you can trust. Check out pinnaclecorp.net, helping you understand your environment, because what you don't know can hurt you. And now it's time to get to work, I guess, for the fall semester, right? It's coming up here soon.
Oh, it is. And we're really excited. Our faculty come back a week from today, and students, I think, 3 weeks from today, I believe it is. Yeah, the 24th. So, yeah, we're getting geared up for the semester. Next week, we call it our welcome back week. So we have lots of chances for me to finally get to meet the faculty. I just started on July 1st, so I really haven't met many of them yet, other than maybe in passing. Yeah. Folks are excited, and enrollment is up this semester, so we're excited about that, and ready to get going.
And I also know that in the past you're going to do it this year as well, that there'll be some sort of open houses and things of that nature for students to be able to come and just get students or parents or whomever just to get more information about your programs.
Oh, yeah. So students and parents can call our office, visit us online, or just stop in and visit just about any time they want. We're there for them, and everything we do is to kind of fit their schedules and meet their needs. But we do have a couple of special events. We have an open enrollment event this Wednesday, and that's where folks can just stop in. It's sort of a one-stop shop model. You can stop in, talk to our admissions people, financial aid, Once you sign up for classes, we'll get you registered, get you your advisor, get all those things done while you're there. So we just take care of all of it while you're there. We have another one next Thursday, so that'll be the 13th. And we encourage folks to stop by. And if those dates don't work for you, just reach out through the website, send us an email, give us a call, and we'll find a time that works for you and make sure that you're able to get enrolled before the start of the semester. 3 weeks will go by quickly, so we encourage folks to do it today if you're going to sign up.
We had a text here to the program that they were talking about a story we had reported on about overcrowding at the animal shelter, and they wanted to know if you would consider implementing some sort of a veterinary program.
So I believe in the past we've had a veterinary program, and some of those programs are a little challenging in that they're expensive programs to start up and to keep running, and we also have to look at the job market. We're always willing to consider a new program. Yeah. So if somebody comes to us and helps us, identify a demand, we'll do the legwork and see if that demand exists and see if we can, justify starting a program like that. But I see where they're coming from there. But it's one of those things we're always willing to talk about.
And you got a golf tournament coming up.
We do. We have our annual golf event coming up. That'll be at Edgewood Country Club on Monday, September 28th. So if anybody would like to sign up a team for that, they can visit our website to learn more about it. It's bridgevalley.edu/foundation, and you'll see information on the website about the golf tournament and what's involved in signing up. But we're excited to see how many teams sign up this year. Join us out at Edgewood.
All right, sounds good. Dr. Christopher Treadway, the new president, effective July 1st at BridgeValley Community Technical College. I know they're glad to have you, and I know that you're glad to be there.
I am grateful to be there. I've been so grateful to all the faculty and staff and our board of governors and others, business partners and others who have supported me as I've settled in this first month.
All right, congratulations on the job. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Dave.
Thanks a lot. Hang out with me just 1 second here. Right. I know you got to get on the road, but I got to take care of a couple things first. 9/19, the 19th annual 107.3 The Beat Backpack Attack is back Wednesday, August the 12th on our parking lot, 1111 Virginia Street East in Charleston. Lineup starts at 3:30 and giveaway start at 4:30. Over 300 backpacks will be given away. Kids must be present to get the backpacks presented by Salango Law in conjunction with West Virginia Health Right, the Charleston Police Department, Mountain Care Network, the Charleston Dirty Birds, Equipment Express, the Charleston School of Beauty, Marcotte Consulting, Axton Construction, the Stike Team and Wealth Enhancement, Wendy's Frosties, Grebe Dental Group, JB Acres, West Virginia Eye Care Consultants, 10 in 10, Above Roofing, Charleston Child Care Learning, Family Health Care Centers, Baskin Robbins, Polka Valley, and 107.3 The Beat. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Danny Jones is here on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses bring first-class businesses to your community.
DQ presents the Blizzard Double Flip Deal. For a limited time, when you buy one Blizzard treat, you get a second for just 99 cents. That's 2 Blizzards, 2 spoons, 2 flavors, and 2 flips. So don't miss out on the Blizzard Double Flip Deal, available only for a limited time and happening now at DQ. Because the only thing better than a Blizzard treat is a second Blizzard treat for just 99 cents. It's a deal to flip for. The Blizzard Double Flip Deal. Get it in the app. Participation may vary.
You've worked hard. You've saved. Now it's time to make your money work for you without second-guessing every decision. I'm John Burdett with 4th Avenue Financial, and I help people retire with confidence and clarity. We'll create a personalized plan that fits your lifestyle, your goals, and your legacy. Retirement should feel like freedom, not fear. Visit 4thavenuefinancial.com. Let's get started today. 4th Avenue Financial, retirement done right.
Securities offered through J.D. McCall Financial Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through J.D. McCall Advisors Incorporated.
They say roads are made for journeys, not destinations. And now that I'm retired, I make a point to journey as much as I can. But when night driving became a challenge, my son and I decided it was time for a doctor's visit to ensure my safety behind the wheel. I was worried, but instead of restrictions, we discussed solutions to make sure I can continue on my journeys.
Aging can alter how we drive. Take charge of your safety and independence by evaluating your driving skills regularly. Learn more at StaySafeWV.com. This message is brought to you by the West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program.
Your Putnam County Assessor's Office is mandated to ensure your real estate is evaluated properly and fairly. This year, their field personnel will be in the Winfield town first, and then move to Scott District to revisit homeowners. Plus, new construction in the county will be assessed. They will be in marked vehicles and will have photo ID and business cards. If you have any questions about this process, visit their website at PutnamCOAssessor.com. That's PutnamCOAssessor.com.
Always on duty.
Welcome back to the show. It is 9:22 every Friday morning, 9:06. We do the Adopt Me Please Pet of the Week from the Kanawha Charleston Humane Association, brought to you by Almost Heaven Interiors. Family owned, proudly serving the community for over 50 years, specializing in custom blinds, shades, shutters, upholstery, and beautifully crafted sewn goods. From homes to hospitals, classrooms to commercial spaces, they do it all. Located at 516 D Street in South Charleston. Guarantee Bank Hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. The man is here, former Charleston mayor, legislator, sheriff, actor, restaurateur, author, gravedigger, and more. It's Danny Jones. How you doing, man?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
So, what's new with you? You're back in the state now, because every time I talk to you, you're either here, you're there, you're all over, but you're back in West Virginia for now.
They had the Fauci hearings last week.
Uh-huh.
Okay. They can compel his testimony. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
They vote to give him immunity. And that's not something he has a choice in.
Mm-hmm.
If they immunize you, you're immunized. And that way you can't use the Fifth Amendment. Now, he would object to it, and it would wind up in the D.C. District Court. And they would compel him to testify. And if you don't testify, you go to jail.
Yeah, contempt of court, I guess.
Yeah, and contempt of Congress.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so
contempt of court. It'd be a court order.
Okay, so you watched the hearings, and we all did. And
I watched some of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you watched 2 minutes. You got the whole gist of it, which was he's going to plead the Fifth. Do you think that he did the right thing in doing that, in pleading the Fifth? Or, I mean, I kind of took, and there was an editorial about it in the Wall Street Journal that I thought was a couple days ago that I thought was pretty good. It's like, he could have said things in that hearing that would have shed, because there are legitimate questions to this day people have about COVID. Now, get away from the vaccines and all that controversy, whatever. There's still legitimate questions that medical professionals that going forward need, the government needs, about how it got started. And that's more important. That's a more important topic to me than what the battle over the vaccinations is where it actually came from. He could have spoke to them.
According to Fauci, there were no other medical professionals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was science.
Mm-hmm.
Remember? He was. And I remember there's a senator from Kansas named Marshall. He's a medical doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Fauci called him an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Picked it up on a hot mic.
Mm-hmm.
On a hot mic, but called him an idiot. He should be compelled to testify. And they found apparently, they asked him, did you lie to your diary?
Mm-hmm. There's still questions as to how Mr. Paul got access to that diary. I was trying to do a deep dive on that yesterday, and Fauci kept a diary of things, and notes, and about look, he liked him. He liked him some him. I mean, if you read the excerpts, I mean, he was really big on himself, and there's nothing wrong with that necessarily. But I'm just kind of curious as to how Rand Paul actually got access to the diary.
I can give you 3 cases.
Okay.
Do you remember a congressman named Alcee Hastings?
Yeah.
Black guy from Florida.
Mm-hmm.
He died.
Yeah.
And he had his girlfriend as chief of staff and was paying her $200,000 a year. Well, before that, he was a federal judge. And he got caught up in a bribery scheme. And his co-conspirator got caught. Mm-hmm. In other words, they arrested him. And they were in D.C., and Hastings found out they had arrested him, and he had a ticket to leave on D.C., but he had a car take him to Baltimore, and he flew back. And then he called Borders on a payphone outside of his office to another payphone, but it was being listened to. Mm-hmm. In other words, the Federals were listening. And they were talking in code. This is a federal judge. Mm-hmm. So they had Hastings on trial. He beat the criminal case, but they had him on trial. The federal judges filed complaints against him, said he was a crooked judge. And they had the Borders. They bought him back, his co-conspirator who had already done his time, already paid the $25,000, already paid the $35,000 fine. He said, "I'm not testifying." Mm-hmm. And it's the only time I saw Arlen Specter pretty well lose his temper.
Yeah.
And what they did was they went over to D.C. Circuit and they ordered him to testify. And he wouldn't testify, so he had to go to jail. Mm-hmm. Same thing happened to Oliver North. And the same thing happened to Anthony Accardo, the mob guy from Chicago, mm-hmm. Tony Accardo. Yep. And they finally made him well, he just lied. His testimony's on YouTube. It's really kind of funny mm-hmm. because he just lied.
Right. So what should happen from this point for Dr. Fauci at this point?
Oh, I think they'll do what I said. Now, I don't know if they have the time to do it mm-hmm. because by the time they could get it done, the Republicans may lose the Senate. They're going to lose the House.
Yeah.
But they might lose the Senate. Mm-hmm. And that's looking like a possibility. Do you know that Tallarico is ahead of Paxton in Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw that. I have a text here. It said, "Silence speaks volumes, Danny. Even Bill Maher has now changed his tune when it comes to Fauci and the lab leak stuff. He's now called Fauci a liar. Finally, people are waking up to how despicably corrupt and evil Fauci really is."
I don't know about being evil. He's definitely a narcissist.
Yeah, well,
and science is kind of like politics. Mm-hmm. We all have different views. Right. Science is meant to be debated.
Mm-hmm. And has been over the years, and that's how what used to be good is now not good in medical fields and stuff like that. And that's the one issue that I had. And look, there were during COVID, Danny, there were all these crazy off the wall, things out there. But it seems to me that there was a certain camp that wanted to shut down any debate about it, or even not even debate, Danny, discussion. This is it, concrete, that's it.
Well,
and again, I'm not talking about, people injecting themselves with all these different, I'm talking about actual honest debate that many respected people in the medical community said we should have a discussion about this. But if you recall during that time, it was pretty much all shut down.
And Fauci was the leader of that group. Mm-hmm. You weren't allowed to object. And, my son Jared, he didn't get a shot. Mm-hmm. And he wouldn't. And I had to because I was in the restroom business.
Yeah.
I had to get shots and wear masks and do all that stuff.
Yeah. I chose to get it. Mm-hmm. And I don't regret my decision in mm-hmm. any way. But I've always been a big believer in what Hoppy said. You do you. If you are against it, you think it's bad for you, whatever, then that's fine. I have no issue with that whatsoever. I chose to. If you chose not to, so be it. That's you. Text says, as for this Fauci hearing, nothing but a witch hunt, 3 times. Rand Paul is a nasty, awful, terrible, low IQ person with blood coming from his eyes.
Well, I don't think Rand Paul is a low IQ person. Mm-hmm. And he's a doctor himself. And, when you don't have an argument, you just call names, so.
Text, and Bill Maher said he's going to rip Rand Paul a new one next week. Get your popcorn. And I'm a big Bill Maher fan. So I'll be.
Is he going to be on with Bill Maher?
I think so. I think because I watched the show from Friday night. I don't stay up that late. I record it and go back.
No, I've got it on. I've got it on tape.
Have you seen it yet?
Well, no, I've got it. I subscribe to HBO Max.
Okay.
Just so I can watch it.
So you can watch. Okay. Have you seen this past week's episode?
No.
I'm not going to spoil it for you. I put it on X on my what was formerly known as Twitter. He really goes hard. Bill Maher does hard after the far left wing of the Democratic Party.
Well, they're going to ruin it.
And that's pretty much what he says. The best line in it is when he said, I'm sorry. He said, I'm very much paraphrasing, my vote may be up in the air. My vote is in play, is what he said. My vote is in play. But however, if you are backing the wrong side in the Cold War, then I'm out on that.
Yeah.
And he was talking about, communism and things like that.
If you look at when these mainstream Democrats, when you've got the Democrat socialists and their primary and the mainstream Democrats, you'll see people behind them like James Clyburn, okay? And Hakeem better get out there. Jeffries, he better get out there. And I think Nancy Pelosi was behind one of them. But you better get people out there and raise some money for these people that are close to being normal.
Text, and who was president when COVID started? Blame our governor. He was 100% behind the protocol. Of course, Trump was president at that time. Text says, tell Danny that witch hunt comment was sarcasm, but his answer was right on the money. When you got nothing, you resort to name calling. All those statements were made by our president of the United States.
Okay, that's fair. I had COVID. May have had it twice. I'm not sure. Jared caught it twice, but the first time he caught it from me. I caught it in California. So when we got back...
Was it bad when you had it? I mean, what was your case?
I didn't think so. I mean, it was...
Everybody's were different. I had a runny nose. That was it. Nothing else.
I was...
and a very, very low-grade fever. But
we rode back on the train. We stayed in our room. We had the meals delivered to our room and set outside, and then we got them. And then we got off in Kansas City and rented a car and drove the rest of the way.
I mean, I got a couple more texts. I guess this week is kicking off with a large dose of Fauci derangement syndrome. It's sad some alleged lab leak gets MAGAs more angry than the president running a child trafficking and sex assault ring. Says the text.
I'm not sure what the two have to do with each other, and I'm not sure about the lab leak. I mean, I'm just not sure. But Fauci was very intolerant and of other people's views, and that's not what science is all about. I mean, there's a lot of people that have different views.
Right. Text, the Fauci diaries released were found on the Health and Human Services files from the government computer servers.
When you're a government employee, anything you write down belongs to the government.
Yep, 100%.
That's like Jonathan Karl in his book. He said that Trump wrote on a napkin, Romney is an effing loser, like that. Well, somewhere in the archives, that napkin is going to appear.
Yeah. Don't put anything in writing. If you're an elected official or state official, not even elected, don't put anything in writing via email or whatever. You better write it in your little spiral notebook and put it in the trunk of your car.
When President Obama was in the White House, I had my own contact. Greg Ballard and I, the mayor of Indianapolis, we shared a contact in there, a really nice guy. And he told me, he said, be careful what you write down because it's all subject to FOIs.
Yeah, it is.
And he wrote me, I'll tell you what he did. When they put up, what's his name, for Supreme Court, and Mitch wouldn't give him a hearing, the guy that became the Attorney General.
Merrick Garland?
Yeah. He said, Joe wants to give him a hearing, and we'd like to give him a hearing. And we'd like you to give Joe some cover. So I wonder if you'd write an op-ed piece. I said, sure. I called Joe. He says, I'll give him a hearing, but I'm not voting for him.
Manchin you're talking about?
Yeah, Joe Manchin. He said, I'm not going to vote for him because he believes in these boards making policy without going through Congress, and his views were just different. But Joe said, sure, you're entitled to a hearing. So I wrote a column. I said, Merrick Garland is entitled to a hearing, and if you don't want to vote for him, don't vote for him. I wouldn't have voted for him.
All right, Danny. Always a pleasure to have you on the show.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You come back next week?
If you want me.
Danny Jones.
Wait a minute, I'll tell you one more thing.
All right, go ahead.
A guy went to his doctor.
Uh-huh.
He said, my arm's been broken 2 places. And the doctor said, quit going to those 2 places.
There you go. Right there. From the wisdom of Danny. 23 away from 10, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by the all-new Generations Ford of Hurricane. Visit generationsford.com. We'll take a break. When we come back, Mayor Amy Shuler Goodwin was here on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
The Dave Allen Show is presented in part by Generations Ford in Hurricane, part of the Eric J. Tarr family of business.
DQ presents the Blizzard Double Flip Deal. For a limited time, when you buy 1 Blizzard treat, you get a second for just 99 cents. That's 2 Blizzards, 2 spoons, 2 flavors, and 2 flips. So don't miss out on the Blizzard Double Flip Deal, available only for a limited time and happening now at DQ. Because the only thing better than a Blizzard treat is a second Blizzard treat for just 99 cents. It's a deal to flip for. The Blizzard Double Flip Deal. Get it in the app. Participation may vary.
According to Feeding America, over 7 million seniors nationwide were food insecure in 2022. West Virginia is no different. Hi, I'm Jason, President and CEO of Union Mission Ministries. For 113 years, Union Mission has focused on helping people in need. Right now, our senior citizens need our help. That is why Union Mission is partnering with local senior living facilities to get food delivered directly to those in need. Will you help us reach more seniors? Visit unionmission.com to learn more.
Having issues with your home like wet basements, water in your crawl space, bowing or leaning walls, or foundation cracks? You need Foster Construction, your foundation repair experts. Locally owned and operated, Foster Construction offers free inspections and estimates and has a licensed professional engineer on staff. Their services include basement and crawl space waterproofing, foundation repair, and retaining walls. Call 304-776-6263 and get started today. Online at fosterconstructionwv.com. Foster Construction. They'll fix it right the first time.
I'm Kanawha County Sheriff Joey Crawford. This August 31st and September 1st, weather permitting, our tax division will once again offer a curbside collection service. Pay your taxes from the comfort of your car in front of the courthouse from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. each day. Our tax divisions will still be open during weekdays, and you can also mail in your remittance or pay online at kanawhasheriff.us. Questions, please feel free to call us at 304-357-0210.
Welcome back to the show. 20 minutes away from 10. Herd fans, the Marshall University Quarterback Club of Charleston presents the annual Paint the Capital City Green event Thursday, August 27th at the Bill No Flight School, West Virginia International Yeager Airport, starting at 6. Hear from coaches Tony Gibson, Courtney Jackson, Julie Folks, Caleb Bowen, and more. And the AD, Gerald Harrison, will be there as well. The voice of the Thundering Herd, Steve Cotton, it will be there. And Steve Animal and I will be serving as your MCs. All proceeds benefit the Big Green. For tickets, visit herdzone.com or call 304-696-4661. Let me knock out a couple texts here before we bring in the mayor. COVID did not leak from a lab. The evidence is overwhelming. It came from Wuhan. Wet Market, you and Danny are too infatuated with your contrarian and reactionary view to discuss it, get an expert to cover it, and then admit you are wrong, says a texter. Dave and Danny, people who complained about getting the COVID vaccine should have tried being in the military. Post 9/11, we all had to get the anthrax vaccine, and the inventor of that went to federal prison for being a con artist and sending actual anthrax to members of Congress. Remember when we've been lectured for years that we're not allowed to debate anything declared science-based? We're not allowed to debate the vaccine, not allowed to debate the lab leak theory. We're not even allowed to debate climate change. Remember, climate change is, quote, settled science. Text, the point is MAGAs get more riled up over Fauci than the Epstein files, and I think that says a lot about MAGA. Final text here before we move on, you two together. Never met a right-wing conspiracy you didn't love. The easiest marks are on the radio. Pure Facebook news nonsense laundered through nut jobs. Facebook comment scientist 580 should be ashamed nonsense. Okay, I got to push back on that just a little bit. I'm a right-wing nut job? Okay, Mayor, Help me out here.
Good morning.
I don't want to get you involved in all this discussion, but I mean, right-wing conspiracies. How long have you known me?
Yeah, for like a long time, decades.
You're not. In addition to being an incredibly good-looking man, I'm also not a right-wing nut job by any stretch of the imagination, and I don't go for every theory in the world. I don't think that everything. I'm the least of a conspiracy theorist that you'll ever meet in your entire life. Yeah. That's just me. I appreciate the text. So how you doing, man?
I'm okay. And it brings up a point. You and I talk about it offline all the time, is that where do folks get their content? Where do they get their news? And as the mother of children who are literally, growing up in this age of, you see it on Facebook or Twitter or Insta and you think it's true. And that's not always the case. And so trying to go back to, I'm a J school, it's what we used to call it. I'm a journalism student. And so it has changed wildly. It has changed wildly what you see and what you hear out there and what you believe. And so I thank you and I thank everybody here. They do such a great job. That's why local news is so important. I know that there are a lot of folks out there that watch the national news, but I got to tell you, local news is still where it's at. I mean, you have to be engaged and involved in what's going on in your local community. And that's what you guys do. And you do so very well. Listening to Jeff this morning report out the news is what I do every single morning. I mean, I listen to the radio probably more than I watch the television any longer.
And we appreciate that.
And I read.
Amanda may not appreciate that, but we do.
Well, yeah, I listen to her as well. I could listen to her as well. But I think that, when you read and you write and you listen to different folks, it is always a good thing. But anyways, I know we're not here to talk about the value of local media, but I value it very, very much.
I got to give a big shout out real quick to my man, Woody Woods.
Oh, wow.
People told him it was nuts to consider putting a concert on like he did at Shawnee's Saturday night. That many artists, that space. It was amazing. My guy killed it. Couldn't help because of the weather. Lightning hit, and they had to end up canceling a little, or had to to end a little bit early. But I did want to say hats off to my man Woody Woods. Great show the other night.
I texted him. I texted him yesterday just to say, as somebody who gets punched in the face quite frequently, especially on social media, because everybody wants to tell you when you've done wrong. But I told him, when you take chances and when you do big things. You're up high. You're up high, and keep going north. Keep that compass heading forward and upward, because it was great, and nobody can do anything about the weather. And especially, this is what I would say. I would not want people out there when it's lightning. That is just an IQ test. Yeah. The answer is no. I would not want to be responsible for a lot of. Listen, we've had to do that. You know this. We've had to do it with Regatta. When you host outdoor events, things are going to happen. Period. He did a great job, and obviously it needs to be done again. I mean, when you try and you pilot some things, we do it all the time. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But it's big swings will get you the home runs.
The Dave Allen Show on 580 Line, brought to you in part by the Charleston Dirty Birds. Birds are in Lexington starting tomorrow through Thursday. They are back at Gomart Ballpark Friday night to take on the Blue Crabs of Southern Maryland. Tickets, promotions, and more, visit dirtybirdsbaseball.com. Council's going to meet tonight. Yeah. Several animal issues are on the agenda tonight.
Yeah, for sure. There's one bill that's going through ordinance and rules on excrement.
Thanks for saying it that way.
You're welcome. Okay. Increasing the fines in both public and private spaces from 10 to 20 to 50 to 100. It's something that council members have brought to the floor, in particular Council Member Brett Burton, who does an outstanding job. A couple other things on council floor that are really, really incredibly important is that we're buying a new fire truck. Fire trucks, ladder trucks, by the way, are very expensive. It's $1.74 million. When you talk about public safety, I'm not sure that everybody always thinks about the ladder trucks that you have to purchase, but we do.
Thanks for pointing out the price, too, because a lot of people don't understand how expensive those things are.
They're very, very expensive. And so I want to make mention, this is a very important vote. It is a high cost, but of high value. If we are going to live in a capital city and have all of these wonderful tall buildings that people live and work in, we have to have the equipment to do that. And speaking of equipment, it's not just the ladder truck that's on council agenda tonight. We're also, we have air packs that obviously our firefighters use when they're going in, not just when they're training, but when they're in active use, and we need to replenish those air packets. We're doing 46. We normally only do about 10 a year, but we had more folks and more folks come into the program, thank goodness. And they all just came up. Their expiration date came up at the same time. Those are the types of things that we do in municipal government that sometimes, Dave, we don't talk about. Air packs for our firefighters to make sure that when they're going in, their air packs are ready to go. This is truly life and death. When you're talking about public safety, these are two things that are critical for our fire and rescue department. And so those are two big things that are on, because sometimes it gets really easy to get wrapped up in what's the most exciting thing on the agenda. For me, these are the two most exciting things on the agenda tonight, because it talks about not only protection of our public safety workers, our EMS and our firefighters, but also public safety in the places that you live and work, and making sure that we can make sure we can get to you.
Talk about all these folks that are coming to town for the municipal league.
Yeah. So I've had the pleasure, and I'm getting ready to end my term. I had the pleasure this year of being the West Virginia Municipal League president. And so we have not had the summer conference in the city of Charleston for a very, very long period of time, close to 13, 15 years. And let me tell you why, is because folks haven't bid on it. Because I think the city was really gracious in saying, hey, listen, everybody comes in, the entire state, all the mayors, city managers, city council members, their teams come in for our winter conference. But this year I said, you know what? I'd like to give it a go. I'd like to bid on it. I'd like to have it here. I am so incredibly proud to say, well, first of all, it wouldn't happen without our partnership with the West Virginia Municipal League. They've done an incredible job. In particular, Susan does an incredible job as executive director, but Beth and Kristen, there's the only two names you need to know. Boy, they make things happen. They've been a joy to work with. Our team has been wonderful. 450 people are coming into the city of Charleston, and I could not be more excited, not just to have everyone from across the state, but we are also having Kevin Kramer, who is our national president of the NLC. In the time that I have been mayor, we have never had a president of NLC come in, and he's coming in. And people say, what is this conference? What are you doing? Well, what we're doing is talking about the things that most of the time don't end up making it on the news, Dave. We're talking about procurement processes. We're talking about best practices. We're talking about the systems, the policies and procedures that people put in, or how do you write good grants for your city? Some of our cities, 230 cities, towns, and villages all across the Mountain State, they don't have grant writers. They don't have extra people just sitting around. So how do the people that you have on your team, how do they write grants? How do they create new policies? We're having Ascend, Danny Twilley come in from Morgantown to talk about the success of the Ascend programs. And you may say, well, congratulations to the 6 cities that get to do this. What's in it for me? We're going to tell you why it works, and we're going to share with you the strategies and the things that they're doing so you can do it in your own city. I saw you post earlier about the man from Man, the mayor of Man, our friend John. He's doing incredible things.
He is.
And sometimes you don't see those incredible things because they're not that, that shock and awe. They're not that front page headline, but it should be. The work of municipal government is incredibly difficult work. It is boots on the ground work. We're talking about refuse streets and traffic, police, fire, the park and rec systems. These are very, very difficult and trying times, certainly in municipal government. And so it is a wonderful time for us to come in, put on great programming, and host folks to, by the way, give ideas and steal ideas.
That's what it's all about. We got to
steal ideas.
We got to take a break. It's 9:51. Charleston Mayor Amy Shuler Goodwin is here for Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Huston's Pizza. This month, get a large 18-inch pepperoni pizza and an 8-inch chocolate chip cookie, $23.99. Find your local Huston's for delivery, pickup, or dine in at HustonsPizza.com. Back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses want to thank you for shopping locally.
DQ presents the Blizzard Double Flip Deal. For a limited time, when you buy one Blizzard treat, you get a second for just 99 cents. That's 2 Blizzards, 2 spoons, 2 flavors, and 2 flips. So don't miss out on the Blizzard Double Flip deal, available only for a limited time and happening now at DQ. Because the only thing better than a Blizzard treat is a second Blizzard treat for just 99 cents. It's a deal to flip for. The Blizzard Double Flip deal. Get it in the app. Participation may vary.
Retirement isn't a finish line, it's a new beginning. But are you really ready? I'm John Burdett with 4th Avenue Financial, and I help people just like you turn confusion into confidence. Whether retirement is 5 years away or right around the corner, now is the time to make a smart plan. Let's make sure your retirement income lasts as long as you do. Call today or visit 4thavenuefinancial.com. 4th Avenue Financial. Retirement done right.
Securities offered through Jenny McCole Financial Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Jenny McCole Advisors Incorporated.
That's the sounds of the Amos Steel Band, the official band of the Dave Allen Show. You need a band for your upcoming events? Look them up on Facebook. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. The mayor of Charleston is here, Amy Shuler Goodwin. Lots to talk about paving here lately, Mayor.
Oh, man, paving. Thank you for being patient. That's the first thing that I will say. It is the largest paving cycle that we've had I'm going to say decades upon decades. I can't go back and find where we spent close to $5 million on paving. Now, mind you, when we got here, we went from about 1.5 to 3, 1.5 million to 3 million, back in 2019. And we have been doing about 3 million, but working with our state and working with our federal partners, we're able to increase that and also have good partnerships. Listen, that is the other thing that municipal government, that we do very well. I hate to keep talking about the conference, but this is why it's so incredibly important. We're having a lunch legislative panel. Senators and delegates from all over the Mountain State are coming in so we can learn and listen to them. What are your priorities? What are our priorities? And how we work together. Because we have to work with the state and we want to. We have to work with the federal government folks and we have to. We want to. So those extra funding cycles will help us partner on some really good projects, because we had a lot of calls. What are you doing about Oakwood Road? Well, it's not my road, but you know what? We're going to partner with the state of West Virginia to get that road paved again this year. So, since I took over, it's 115 miles. 115 miles of paved roads. We can't get to every road every year. And boy, I wish we could. I did a media availability last week with Councilmember Overstreet and our team to go up to see what West Virginia's paving is doing, to remind folks. Because, by the way, it is an inconvenience, Dave. Mm-hmm. If I'm paving your road and you only have parking on your street, it's going to be an inconvenience to you. If you are a senior, you got to move your car. What time's my doctor's? But we got to really work with folks. So it's a year-long process. We work with our engineering department. We work with our planning department. We work with city council members. They give us suggestions as to, hey, would you look at this road? Could you put it on the list? See if it makes the top list. We have an amount of money in a bucket, and that's the money that we need to use every year for paving. We increased it this year because we quite frankly need to. Mother Nature, here we go again talking about her. She wasn't that great to us over the past couple of seasons. And the reason why I know that is cities all across West Virginia ran out of salt. I'm so glad we didn't. And I know Brent Webster is glad we didn't. But it took a beating on our roads. And so going back and assessing and evaluating those are really important. And Chucky was there too to also talk about the roads that we need to pave are also our pipelines to hospitals and schools. And it is a big public safety issue when you talk about crumbling roads and infrastructure. And so, it is just something that is always top of mind and tip of tongue for us. Speaking of police officers, we swore in last week 12 new police officers. And, in a time in our country where it's not in the state of West Virginia, it's not in Charleston, in the country, it is really difficult to recruit new police officers and ask folks to serve in this capacity. To have 12, largest we've had since, gosh gee whiz, early 2000s.
I think Chief Dempsey said 2005.
Yeah,
I think is what he said.
It's a long, long time to have these big numbers. And I think it's a lot of different things. You have to be willing to serve, right? You have to be willing to do that. And I listened actually to one of the clips that he had from your show last week, Dave, where, that willingness to serve, that integrity piece, and that go get 'em attitude, that listen, I'm part of a team. This isn't about me. And center focused on what is best for our community. And so I'm really proud. I know Chief was really proud, and our deputy chiefs were very proud to have one of the largest classes to go through. So really important stuff.
All right, I got a couple texts here for you. It says, when will ground be broken on the Hilton Brand Hotel, for which plans were submitted more than a year ago?
On the corner of the old Sears lot? Gosh, gee whiz. I hope sooner rather than later.
Yeah, because that's not really...
No, it's not moving.
It's not, and that's not a city thing.
No, it's not. No, it's not. But it's a great question. Mm-hmm. It's a great question. I don't have an answer for you. We would have hoped it would be a while back, because we need another hotel.
Oh, definitely,
we need another
not just Charleston,
hotel.
But the surrounding areas need them too.
Yeah, even our quote small little conference. We're in 2 different hotels, man. Mm-hmm. So if you want me to continue to bring people in and families to come in, we do. We need another hotel.
Texas, whatever happened with the lawsuit the city filed against West Virginia Paving?
That was before my time.
Okay. All right. Tex, I recently watched an episode of Forensic Files where City Council allocated special funds to solve all the city's unsolved cold cases. Can Charleston do that? We've got several unsolved missing person and homicide cases that could use more attention and resources.
We have a 96% solve rate, but listen, I know this. We have a low crime rate and a high crime solve rate, but it can always be better. I certainly would be interested in if that texter wants to email or call the office, 304-348-8174. Always willing to talk to folks and see what ideas that they have and things that we can do. I want to go back and say this. The texter that said something about West Virginia paving, that it was before my time, but I will say this. West Virginia Paving is our current paver in this paving cycle. They're doing an incredible job. But that's always bid out. Paving and big projects like that are bid out. And so it is the best cost, the most, highest responsible bidder. And so we have to follow those guidelines. But I will say West Virginia Paving is doing an amazing job, in so much that I actually called them last week when I went on site to say thank you to the people that were there in the hot sun working and saying, thank you. Thank you for doing what you're doing. It's really hard work. Our laborers rarely get recognized. And thank you for doing such a good job.
Charleston Mayor Amy Shuler, Goodwin. Tell everybody we said hello. Bring somebody to the studio tomorrow.
I might do that, actually.
I got time. I got plenty of seats.
Oh, good.
So we'll talk about that later. All right. We got to go. I'll see you later today on Metro News Midday. Till then, have fun. Love somebody.
WCHS AM 96.5 FM Charleston and 104.5 Cross Lanes, a WVRC media station. We're proud to live here too.